Everyone has discipline, has drive, has focus, has grit, has determination, has follow through like you wouldn't believe. Just usually, it's in the wrong direction. Because, well, let's look at your life. Let's look at where you're at. If you aren't happy with it, which, let's be realistic, most people aren't, you have discipline. You have some of the strongest discipline out there. You're just using it to stay stuck. You're using it to stay comfortable. You're using that discipline and that focus to stay exactly where you've always been. Because, well, if you didn't have the discipline, if you didn't have the follow through, if you didn't have those skills, you would just change. It's what I talk about a lot. You know, if you put your hand on a hot stove, you wouldn't be like, oh, that's really uncomfortable, but I'm just going to leave it there because, well, you know, that seems easier than taking it off. No, you'd whip your hand away as fast as you could because it's uncomfortable, because it hurts, because you don't like what it's causing you. But when it comes to our life, when it comes to what we're doing in our day-to-day, we're just like, oh, yeah, I'm unhappy. Yeah, I hate this. Yeah, I'm unsatisfied with my life of where I'm at in this point. So I'll just continue on. I'll just stay the same because, well, that's what I know. So you have these skills. You have the capacity for it. You're just utilizing it in the wrong direction. You have the ability to deal with discomfort, with things that you don't like, with all that kind of stuff. You just choose to use it to stay stuck. Because, well, regardless of where you turn, regardless of what's going on, you're choosing to continue forward where you're at. You're choosing to, well, just stay in that stuck position. And I think that's the problem with it, that you are using more effort than it would take overall to stay exactly where you are. You're choosing to ignore more things. You are choosing to deal with more discomfort than it would take to actually change your life and get to a place where you want to be. Like, we get to choose our discomfort, but there's always going to be discomfort in life. So you can either continue to stay where you are, being ashamed of the man in the mirror, disgusted with how your body looks, disgusted that you can't actually do the things that you want to do, that you keep falling into the trap of the things that you're doing, that you just can't say no to that food or to the sleep in or whatever it might be. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to live in a place where you hate where you're at. I've been there. I know. I was the height of hypocrisy. I hated myself. I was 30 kilos overweight. And every day I'd look at myself and go, what the fuck are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? And I stayed there. And I stayed there. And I stayed there. I was uncomfortable every day. And I hated every moment of it. And I would hide from it, and I would date with it. And I'd choose to run away with junk food and social media and alcohol and all that kind of stuff, and tell myself lies and uncomfortable lies about it wasn't that bad. I wasn't that out of shape. I work out. I do stuff. I'm still fit and strong and healthy. All fucking bullshit. Utter bullshit. But that was easier than confronting the man in the mirror. That was easier than confronting the choices that I was making. To continue to stay where I was deeply, deeply upsetting and uncomfortable. And if you actually face that, if you face your reality head on, I'm sure you will agree at the same, that it is deeply uncomfortable. But that's easier than going, well, shit. Now I have to change. Now I have to do something different. Now I have to elevate as a different man. Those are different conversations. But it's going to be uncomfortable regardless. Yeah, you can feel safe and comfortable in your little world, but you know overall that it is probably the most uncomfortable feeling. You're just hiding from facing that. Or you could accept that change is going to be uncomfortable. Stepping up and doing something different is going to be uncomfortable. Facing your demons head on is going to be uncomfortable. But on the other side of that discomfort is a happier life. On the other side of that discomfort is, well, everything that you want. Satisfaction and fulfillment and pride in overcoming. You're just not willing to face a different uncomfortable for a little while. You're not willing to face a different uncomfortable that you can't lie to yourself about. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable saying no to the foods that you like. It's going to be uncomfortable to start working out and doing the exercises that you know need to be done. All of that is going to be uncomfortable. But everything you want is on the other side of that. It's like one of my favorite sayings, the magic is on the other side of the work that you aren't willing to do. On the other side of the work that you were avoiding. You know, we can talk all day and night about specifics. We can talk how my method, I firmly believe, and I've got the results to back it up, that will kick your ass into gear and deliver incredible results, not just on the physical aspect, but on the mental side, on the discipline side, on the grit side, on the determination side. It will change your fucking world. We can talk about that. But at the crux of it, at the most basic level, it might not be perfect, it might not be great, but most people know how to get into better shape. Most people know the shit that they're doing that isn't helping them. Most people know the stuff that they should stop. So start there. Start doing something. Like, it's really not that complex. You've shown that you've got the discipline to stay in an uncomfortable situation. You've shown that you've got the capacity to just weather and tolerate uncomfortable shit. Just switch the stimulus. Switch your mindset. It actually doesn't take months and months and years to make a true change. It takes one moment. It takes one decision. But then you keep making that decision over and over and over again. That's when the change comes. The change comes in the first initial decision. You've just got to keep making that decision. You just got to keep showing up. You've just got to keep using the discipline in a different direction. And that's when, well, things change. But you're already uncomfortable. You're already unhappy with your life. You might as well start doing something that's going to push you in the direction you want to be. Might as well start doing the things that will, over time, progress you forward. Because the only resource that we have that cannot be bought back, that cannot be regained, is time. Right now, right here, in this second, is the most time you will have to make your dreams, your goals, your life the best it can be. Right here, right now. This is the most time. So next week, kicking it down the line to next week, you'll have less time. To next month, even less. And so on and so forth. This is the most available time. The best option you have right here, right now, is to do the work. To do what is required. In this moment. So that's where we're at. That's the decision you've got to make. That's where you've got to decide, well, are you willing to do the work? Because time's slipping away. No amount of money, no amount of success or anything can bring that back. You've got now, and that's it. And yeah, it's cliche as fuck. But as we've discussed before, cliches are cliches for a reason. They keep coming back for a reason. The question becomes, what are you going to do with this time? What are you going to do to make a change here and now? Because the longer you leave it, the harder it gets. The other side of it is that people want the change to happen instantly. They want it to happen overnight. But did you get to where you were overnight? Was it that one meal, that one choice, and you're like, oh fuck, there's the 30 kilos that I don't want? No. It was consistently making the choices in the wrong direction. Consistently moving down the path, but in the wrong direction. The question becomes, when are you going to start making the choices in the right direction? You know? I didn't put on the 30 kilos. I didn't become a hypocrite of the highest order in one meal, in one choice, in one moment of weakness. No, I didn't. I had thousands of them. Thousands of them. Thousands of points where I could have turned it all around, where I could have made a better decision and chosen to go a different direction, to take it to a better place. So many times. What did I do? Not that. I kept going down that road. I kept making the wrong decisions. I kept putting a disciplined choice towards the wrong outcome. And so, yeah, it didn't take one choice back the other direction. It didn't take one moment in the right direction to fix it. No, I had to keep taking the right steps. Keep moving in the right direction towards the man and the outcome that I wanted it to be. You have to keep making those decisions. As I said, it's one moment. You make the decision and then you just keep making that decision over and over and over again. And the discipline kicks in when the motivation fades. When it's no longer about, oh, I'm feeling great, I'm pumped up, I'm ready for this. No, the discipline is that I'm going to do it regardless. I'm going to do it no matter how I feel. I'm going to do it because it needs to be done. That's the reality of it. That's the point that you need to keep coming back to. Those are the choices that you need to keep making. That you have to use the discipline towards the outcome that you want. And yeah, your brain's going to keep butting up against you, and your brain's going to keep telling you that you should take it easy, you should have the sedation, you should eat the food, the wine, the alcohol, doom scroll, binge watch, whatever the fuck your vice is. And you have to keep going, no, that's not the man I want to be. No, that's not the life I want to lead. No, that's not the way I want to show up. So you keep making a better decision. You keep using the discipline. And it's gonna take time. And it's never going to stop. And this is the part that people, they're like, oh, well, I don't want to have to dedicate so much time to it. And I'm like, well, that time is passing regardless. That time is ebbing away no matter what. So you can either use that time, that effort, that energy, that money to build towards the life that you want and know you need, or you can use it to keep staying stuck in a place that you don't like, with things that you are unhappy with, a place where you're disgusted with the man in the mirror. Or you can use it towards being the best version of yourself. That time is passing regardless. But you want to look at it for a quick fix. You want to just go, well, what's the easiest way? The quickest way to do it? You want to know the truth? You want to know the real truth about it all? The quickest and easiest way to get the results you want is to do the work. It's not some quick fix scheme. It's not this rapid weight loss program. It's none of that. It's consistency, intensity, and effort for a long period of time. But people don't want to do that. Because that's boring. That isn't sexy. That isn't interesting. It's boring as fuck. But it's what will deliver the results. Not only the results, but maintain them. It's what will kick you into being the man that you want to be. It's what is allowing you to have the life that you want. You just have to commit to it. As I said, the time's going to pass anyway. And you have the discipline already. You're just utilizing it in the wrong direction. So change your focus. Change where you're putting that effort. Change where you're putting that discipline. Instead of using that discipline and effort and focus to hide from your life, put a fucking spotlight on it and show yourself exactly where you are. Shine on all the things that aren't in this life where you want them to be. And then start doing the work that's going to change them. And then start doing the work that is going to build the life, the credibility, the outcomes that you want. You're already putting in time, effort, and intensity. You might as well do it towards something that's going to matter. Stop hiding from it and start doing it. Then everything will change. So if you're actually ready for that, and you want to be held to that higher standard, if you want to be held accountable to it, click the link in my bio, jump into Demanding Greatness. Let's get some serious investment into your life and doing what is required so that you can become the man that you know you want to be, that you should be, that you demand of yourself. Start demanding greatness and stop hiding from the life. Use that discipline that you're using to hide away from everything you know you should do and become the man you know you should be. If you're ready for that, click the link and I'll see you there.